Actually in Arches National Park right now near Moab. This is Devil's Garden, just part of it. I was just looking for something secluded so I can go ahead and shoot. If you go to Arches in Utah, you've got to go about, what was it, about 16 or 17 miles to get to here. This is the end. So today I was going to talk about the fix and if it's in. And it's funny because coincidentally enough, I happened to, on the drive from Nevada, drove through Utah, passed through parts of Arizona obviously, but there was a particular radio station. It was 100.5, which in Vegas, it's like a 1990s pop, hip-hop type station, all the oldies you know and love, if you're my age. Well, when you pass into Utah, it became a talk radio station. More conservative in Utah, obviously, so it was a right-leaning radio station. And only caught part of it because we were passing through canyons, I guess that'd be a better word. And so somebody calls in, and they have some callers calling in, and the guy's a Michigan state senator, and he's talking about the fraud that's going on in Michigan. And his wife, I guess, I don't recall because the station, it was a little spotty. And so weren't able to pick up the full conversation, and eventually it cut out. We say the frequency, the airwaves. You probably know the word I'm trying to figure out, but she was talking about how in Michigan, in the Detroit area, that they were trying to do anything they could to get Republican pollsters kicked out, and that the proportion was generally like 3-to-1 Democrat to Republican in terms of pollsters and everything. And I don't know if they base it on population and voter participation, then I guess I get it, because there's so many more Democrats in Detroit. So the thing my wife and I were talking about was what I alluded to, the fix. Even if the fix were in, and additionally they were saying that they were doing anything they could to get Republican pollsters kicked out, like even if they just touched their mask or just moved it a certain way, they were trying to get them kicked out. And in areas where there were Republican pollsters, they just wouldn't count the vote. Now, what I was talking about with my wife was, and the reason why I would be, say if I were a hardcore Republican, the reason I'd be skeptical is what I talked about a few days ago, is because the media fixes in. We know that. We've known that for years. Even somebody that's more centrist like me, I know what side that they favor. And the thing was, if these things were legitimately happening, that pollsters were getting kicked out, again, we're talking about Michigan. I didn't catch the state senator's name, but why I wouldn't have much hope, but this doesn't mean you don't fight. Why I wouldn't have much hope is because where's the video evidence? It's not like I could just go in as a pollster and if I see some improprieties, get that on camera. Now, do we have some things on camera? Perhaps we do. And if there are things on camera, go ahead and shoot me a link. I'd like to see it. I think I saw some footage of one. I don't know if it was authentic. I didn't look to verify it, but it just showed a woman. She was marking the same 6 candidates. I saw that a few days ago for ballot after ballot. And there was a security guard, and he was just walking by. Now, I don't know if that was legit. I don't know if that was in the U.S. I don't know where that was. But it was just kind of coincidental that that came on the radio today when I was going to talk about this topic. So the reason, getting back to it, my man Base Logic again, getting back to his video, he's talking about don't cuck out now. And he's right. He's right. The fight doesn't end. As I said, it never ends. For me, it's more about the establishment and fighting the status quo. But for you individuals on the right, and even if there were people on the left that thought there were improprieties, because in my district, my congressional district, the Republican actually took the seat back from the Democrat, so I had to trash talk him and his followers. But they're claiming the same thing. They're claiming voter fraud as well. So that's the fight, right? Whatever side you're on, if there's legitimate information and you feel like there's something to fight for, something you can prove, then fight for it. That's what Base Logic was talking about, and I'll link his video below so you can check him out. But for somebody like me to have, all I want is a fair and honest election. That's all I ever care about. And if there were situations that aren't fair, how do we prove it? That's the thing. How do we prove it beyond a reasonable doubt? Because the media and everything, who they side for, and if the fix was in, as I said, that they would cover it up and do everything they can. We've seen it time and time again, right? We've seen Russia nonsense. We've seen the Hunter Biden stuff. Everything they can cover up or just ignore, they will do. So those are just my thoughts for the day. But again, coincidental that radio program came on. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Keep fighting the fight.